Battle through the firmament. Grand world. Chapter 365 Xuan Wu Dragon Rock Wall. Silence. After Su Xiang finished speaking, the entire hall, all the elders were speechless. Although Su Xiang's thoughts were crazy, this time, the 4 academies competition. If the Yunlo Academy was once again at the bottom, they all knew what the consequences would be. However, if they really sacrificed Shaoyan's Saint rank trial participant, their hearts would be filled with contradictions. Elder Su. Elder Shao gritted his teeth and was about to speak. Su Xiang stood up and said coldly, "Elder Shao, you don't have to use Kebai and Kebai to pressure me." The reason why the Kebai and the other 2 elders were optimistic about Shaoyan and Jutianho was so that the academy could obtain good results in the 4 academies competition. But as you can see, the current strength is only at the emperor level. They only have 2 years, even if they're geniuses. How much better? Su Xiang's voice was as heavy as an iron hammer, striking the hearts of the elders, making them speechless. Although your thoughts are also for the sake of the academy, I believe that my actions will be more effective. Su Xiang looked at Elder Shao with a sharp gaze. There was an unquestionable tone in his words. This is insane. Elder Shao was so angry that he blew his beard and glared at him. This is only your wishful thinking. Do you think Lindao will go and seize Shaoyan's Monic Flame or Jutianho's physique to increase his strength? All the elders present knew Lindao's character. What Elder Shao said made them nod slightly. Wu Shaoqi would not do such a thing. Without waiting for Su Xiang to speak, Elder Wu stood up and said in a deep voice. Not to mention that Shaoyan had helped Wu Shaoqi obtain a great opportunity in illusory spirit space. Even if it was an ordinary student, Wu Shaoqi would not do such a thing that would harm others and benefit herself. As for Ma Huyang, there is no need to say any more. After saying those words, Elder Wu spoke once again. Ma Huyang was once the captain of punishment department. He was very clear about the latter's character. You don't have to worry about that. No matter what, in order to get a good result from the Yunlo, Shaoyan's Monic Flame or Jutianho's Sacred Spirit Fire body were obtained by someone with great strength, so it could be used to its full potential. Su Xiang sneered. He waved his sleeve and walked out of the main hall. He was at the entrance of the main hall. Su Xiang paused for a moment and said, "Don't worry, I won't attack them. You don't need to stay by their side all day long. If I find out who dares to hinder the revival of Yunlo Academy, don't blame me for being ruthless." At the end of his words, a trace of fierce killing intent suddenly appeared in Su Xiang's words, causing the hearts of some elders to tremble slightly. When they saw Su Xiang leave, a huge commotion erupted in the hall. Elder Fang Yun was infuriated. He said, "Elder Su is playing with fire. Elder Shao, you must stop him." Shaoyan was a student he had recruited, so he naturally had a special feeling in his heart. When he heard Su Xiang's crazy thoughts, he immediately became somewhat anxious. With Fang Yun taking the lead, some of the elders started to criticize Su Xiang. Elder Shao's face was expressionless. He glanced at the silent elders and sighed slightly. He knew that Su Xiang's crazy thoughts had gained the support of some of the elders. "I'm sorry everyone. I am on the same level as Elder Su. I have no right to interfere with his decision unless the Qi and Bai elders step in." Elder Shao gritted his teeth and shook his head. Then, he said in a deep voice, "Since that's the case, I will compete with Su Xiang. I have decided to change the period of competition for entering the realm in Valley to 1 month later. If everyone has no objections, we will carry it out." Hearing Elder Shao's words, although Elder Fang was anxious, he also shook his head helplessly. As for Elder Shao's suggestion, none of them had any objections. Immediately, all of them stood up and left to make arrangements. The early entry into the realm in Valley was a matter that involved a lot of problems, and they needed to make detailed arrangements. When all the elders had left, Elder Shao called out to them. He took a deep breath, and it seemed as if all of his strength had dissipated. He leaned back on his chair in exhaustion, and looked at the ceiling of the hall. Then, he let out a bitter laugh. At this moment, It seemed as if his face had become much older. The future of the Yunlo Academy. What would it be like? Boom! Following the eruption of the origin key, yellow sand surged across the sky. A figure leaped out from the yellow sand. Origin Monic key curled around his body, and the sand that was close to his body was shattered. Black Tortoise Dragon Rock Wall. A soft cry was emitted from Xiaoyan's mouth. In the next moment, the origin chains vibrated and a majestic origin Monic key surged out of Xiaoyan's body. It transformed into numerous mysterious lines on his skin. It was like a crack that spread across the cliff as it swiftly covered Xiaoyan's entire body. His head was also wrapped within it. Xiaoyan landed steadily on the ground. He looked at the lines on his arm that spread like a spider web. An indestructible feeling surged out from the bottom of his heart. Are you done? I'm coming. In the distance, Xiao's palm faced the sky. A huge stone tablet formed from origin Monic kiss slowly took shape. Under the deliberate control of Xiao, its attack power had reached the level where it could kill 3 ordinary Dao Emperors. It's done. Xiaoyan took a deep breath. A fiery look flashed across his eyes as he said in a clear voice. Swoosh! Right after Xiaoyan finished speaking, Xiao flipped its palm, and the black stone monument immediately shot out. It was like a cannonball as it shot towards Xiaoyan. The tremendous force caused the yellow sand on the ground to sink deeply. Xiaoyan stared at the stone monument that was flying towards him. He didn't use any origin key to defend himself. Instead, he relied on the first style of the profound martial arts, the Black Tortoise Dragon Rock Wall, which he had just mastered. Boom! The stone tablet hit Xiaoyan hard. Xiao hurriedly widened its eyes. It couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. It didn't know what level the first style of the profound martial arts that was cultivated with the blood essence of Dark Golden Beast had reached. After the dust settled, Xiaoyan appeared in front of Xiao. He stretched his arms and used the Black Tortoise Dragon Rock Wall to forcefully block Xiao's attack. Looking at the distance where he was retreating on the ground, Xiaoyan let out a breath. He had only used the Black Tortoise Dragon Rock Wall, but when faced with the attack of Xiao, which was similar to a mid-grade Monic spell, he was not injured at all. He was only pushed back by the impact of the attack by nearly 10 meters. More or less. Although there is still some distance between me and a high-ranked Monic spell, I should be able to withstand an ordinary Monic spell without any problem. He pouted his little mouth and pondered for a moment. Xiao clapped his hands and said, after cultivating the second style, I should be able to barely reach the level of the intermediate Monic arts. At that time, other than using the Monic arts, nothing else will be able to hurt you. Xiao giggled and said arrogantly, it's all thanks to me that you can master it so quickly. Am I powerful? Quickly praise me. Xiaoyan rubbed Xiao's red hair in annoyance. The latter had red hair, while the latter had red hair. Xiao roared and pouted to express its dissatisfaction. Of course you are powerful. You have contributed a lot. Xiaoyan could not help but smile bitterly when he saw Ao's angry expression. When Xiao heard this, its eyes immediately narrowed into slits. Its small face was full of pride. The dissatisfaction just now had instantly flown to the highest heavens. Looking at the smiling expression of Xiao, Xiaoyan also smiled in his heart. It was also a pleasure to have such an experienced living treasure during cultivation. Before I came, I told Zuna and Kalen that I am not in a hurry to return these few days. I might as well cultivate the second style as well. When Xiao heard this, it nodded its head indifferently. There was still a long time before the competition in Realm in Valley. During this period of time, he did not know what to do. Although he had enough Spirit Origin stones to cultivate in the Spirit Source formation, that kind of speed was still a little slow. Xiaoyan even thought of completing the second style of the profound martial arts and going to Capital of Chaos to challenge it. Swoosh! While Xiaoyan was thinking, the sound of a flame streaking across the sky suddenly sounded, causing the yellow sand to churn. Xiaoyan jolted and leaped from the ground. Spiritual strength surged out from all over the place, and he instantly caught sight of where the sound came from. It's Jutianho and Xiaoyi. Xiaoyan's expression immediately changed when he sensed that it was these two people. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.